What's up, sports fans? Welcome to the first episode of The Final Whistle. I'm your host, Brad, valid avid sports fan, commissioner of 2 fantasy football leagues, and sitting beside me is not only my wife, but the reigning 2020 fantasy football champion.
Hi.
In this episode, we will be discussing the upcoming divisional round of the NFL football schedule. Before we do that, I want to take a little recap of the wild card round, or as I call it, the unwild card round. So 5 out of the 6 games were 2-score victories, which maybe a little reseeding might need to happen, which we'll talk about that in a later episode. So keep that in mind. Also click the like and follow button. So if there was any surprises in the wild card games, feel free to comment those as well. I really wasn't surprised with much except for the Texans handling the Chargers the way that they did. The Washington game was, what do you think about the Washington game? The best game of the weekend?
Early, that was the close.
Going again for the win. I don't think there was any real good games.
I was expecting, I called for the Chargers to win, mainly because Texans had Stephon Diggs, both of their top wide receivers out, but apparently that didn't phase the Texans. So
pretty much all the other games went the way that we had expected to.
I don't think anybody can really hate to say this, sorry, David and Amanda, but I don't really think anybody expected the Steelers to beat the Ravens.
That's why I was saying pretty much the wild card this year was very one-sided in the game.
I feel like I thought the Vikings were going to put up a bigger fight than they did against the Rams.
No goals in a wild card game is not the way to.
Well, since he didn't do
Mr. Irrelevant.
Not give him that title because Brock Purdy is a great Mr. Irrelevant.
So pretty much that's the roundup of this past weekend's games, and we will stick around till the end because we will be calling our picks at the end. And then if you want to drop your picks in the comments and to see whether you guys can get better records than us, then we will see, but we'd appreciate the comments. So first up, we have the Texans and the Chiefs. Quarterback comparison, even though Stroud's had a good season, Mahomes is the better of the two. Agreed?
Agreed. Regardless of the Chiefs' record this year, I don't feel like Mahomes played like Mahomes this year. But of the two, Mahomes is definitely the...
As far as running backs go, I know Mixon has had a decent season, 1,000-yard season, 11 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt was hurt for a little bit. Running back position, I feel like, is kind of evened out in that aspect.
Yeah, I agree.
Tight ends, you got Travis Kelce, who you put him up against any tight end in the league.
He's not Kittle, but...
With the exception of Kittle, because we might be a little biased on this, but in that game, tight end, and he always seems to find his way to be open in the middle. Wide receiver-wise, you got Nico for Houston, and I'm thinking he's rose up to be a great number one receiver, 1,000-yard season again. Hopkins, new addition to Kansas City, has made an impact. I don't think they've been playing like they should all year, but I think that in that aspect, I think the Chiefs still got that because of Mahomes. Pretty much balance out 85% for Fairbairn and A. Bucker. It's all going to come down to field position for how the offensives can get down. Good from 50, Fairbairn. Up in the air toss with that too, depending on how the Kansas City's defense, I think, was less than average this year. In my opinion, Houston's defense kind of a little bit more than I thought they were going to. So give that to Texans on that aspect of it. We're going to move on to the second game of the day, which is going to be Washington and Detroit. Pretty much everything on that aspect of it is going to go to Detroit on paper. Had a remarkable season as a group. Brought the team up to a 4
last year.
Right, 4-13. Now they're 13-4 this year. About 4,000 yards this year.
Yeah.
With 37 touchdown passes. Hard to stop. Defensive line is good. Protection. The quarterback position goes off on that.
So I gave you crap about Mayfield and instead of Goff in the championship. It worked out, but not quite. But
right. Running back position, we've got Robinson Jr., who had a decent season at running back, 8 touchdowns. We got Gibbs on the other end for Detroit. Add Montgomery in with Gibbs, you have a backfield that not a lot of defenses can stop. Both catch, they can both run. 1,400 yards for Gibbs, almost 800 for Montgomery. So it's in. I give that to Detroit. And we got Zach Ertz. League for a long time still has it. I think not really did a lot this season. Did 7 touchdowns. Got Laporta. Laporta had a less than average season, like compared to last year.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, a lot of fantasy owners know that. But still, just because of the running back positions and the wide receivers they have, I think Laporta could have very, very decent playoff run with them. Wide receivers, you're gonna like this one too much. We're Washington. Do very well for you in the championship game, but
I with my work league.
But overall, 1,000-yard season, 13 touchdowns. Number 1 on their team, pretty much the only guy that they can really depend on is in the end zone. St. Brown for Detroit, 1,200-yard season. Washington's defense, I don't think, has the secondary to keep up with both Laporta and St. Brown. So I'm going to give the way out to Detroit as well.
Like, I'd love to see Washington win in this round because they have done so well this year. But then again, the Lions would love to get to the Super Bowl.
Maybe the drive that gets them there is just
Exactly.
being this close.
Yeah.
You got Gonzalez, who didn't kick a lot because of the other injury to the kicker, but he's been clutch. He kicked that field goal last week to win. Very high pressure situation and doinked it in for the win. So he didn't. So on the other side, you got Bates, who is 90% from field goals. Him inside 40, he's pretty clutch in all those situations as well. Pretty much a toss-up. Haven't seen as much as I'd like to from Gonzalez for making this, my opinion on this, but I'm going to say that it's pretty even table on that one. Defense has really stepped up this season. And
for sure.
Yeah. A lot better than they have been in years.
Mm-hmm.
Defense has also gotten better. I don't know how they're going to stack up against the Lions offense, but what they're made of, I'm guessing.
Yep.
So anything you want to input on it?
I'm going to hold my opinion until we do our picks.
All right. So we have Ravens and Bills coming up next.
That's going to be that's going to be a good game.
That's going to be the best of the weekend, I think. So. By far,
King Henry.
Yes, and
Lamar Jackson. I think it's just a side note. I feel like it is kind of to assume at this point, Lamar Jackson is going to be getting MVP again. I don't know. I know we've talked about this, and you think the Saquon
should be Saquon, but in my opinion, it's going to come down to whoever wins this game.
Maybe. But I've already chosen Lamar Jackson as the quarterback for the All-Pro team.
This is true.
So
but I'm thinking if one comes out and just outplays Jackson like not anybody, then he's going to still win it.
It's true.
Quarterback-wise, 4,000-yard season for Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
For Allen. Son made some mistakes this season. So got the mobility that
right.
So I'm in that aspect, just adding the run game in and the accuracy that Jackson has been putting out there in the last couple of years. I'm putting Baltimore on top on that one. You got Derrick Henry and Jared Cook.
Yeah,
is the king. Not this season because that was Saquon, but
still the reason they call him King Henry.
Right. He's still put up 1,900 yards.
Yep.
Barely broke 1,000. Cooks. I had them both on my fantasy team.
He had some good weeks.
Yes.
Throughout the season, but consistently.
I had them both on my fantasy team.
Right.
But if it came down to it, I would
Derrick Henry all day. Yeah.
And Kincaid.
Mark Henry.
Yeah.
All day over Kincaid.
He did have a few off weeks.
He did. I'm also kind of ball with what was it likely?
Yep.
I mean, it's some off weeks, but I would still put.
I will say that he did have 29 catches for 556.
Okay.
And Andrews went 55 catches for 673.
But it was but again, he was also sharing that ratio with Likely.
Right.
So Likely you also have to add Likely into that scenario because I'm sure they're going to utilize him throughout them as well.
Right. I agree. Receiver wise, got Zay Flowers for Baltimore.
Was he good after
he put up 1,000-yard season?
No, but I'm saying after the last game because he did go down.
He's good.
Okay.
And he is in, by the way. And Shakir made a little bit of a splash this season. 821, 4 touchdowns.
Yeah.
I mean, for number And you got Allen running and Code Brennan.
Yeah.
You got Tucker and Tyler Bass is somebody that I would like to talk about because he did not have a Tucker-like season.
Yeah, no.
He did not.
He missed way more field goals than he should have.
73%. Field goals this season for Justin Tucker. Very low.
Justin Tucker season.
No. At 89%.
Yeah. I saw a couple of my fantasy
and
teams.
he really did give the kickers. I'm going to give Buffalo the on the kicker this time.
Which is amazing, just because that's not something you would say any other season. Like, has just been that guy.
Right.
That's just amazing that we would give Bass the edge over the only, and again, kind of bias, but the only kicker I think that compared to him in recent years was Gold.
Right. Yeah, which I miss him, by the way. I'm going to give this to Baltimore. Secondary is a little bit sketchy, but when it comes, I don't think that Josh Allen's going to have time to find people that can get behind the first line of Baltimore. He's going to be rushed. D5, I give that to Baltimore as well.
Right.
Final game of the weekend is Eagles and Rams.
Again, biased. Obviously, Rams are in our division. Not really wanting to see them go further than this.
I'm right there with definitely. So yes,
not really wanting to see them go any further, but
we do have Hurts and Stafford. Again, I give Stafford the edge on that. I mean, I give Hurts the edge on that mainly because of his mobility. And he's got Saquon back there. It's when you take
again slap plotted, I would give Saquon MVP all day, but it obviously most of the time goes to a quarterback.
So when you put Hurts' mobility along Saquon's mobility, and you have Devontae Smith, and you've got Hollywood Brown and as your receivers, I don't see where he's not going to have a good day.
Right. Yeah.
And Williams, we know what Barkley did this season. 2,000 rush yards, a decent season as well. Punt returns as well.
Right.
He both had a good season. I can't even put Williams on the same level as Barkley. I'm going to give that the tight ends. Philly, you've got Goddard. The best season that I've seen from him. He was hurt for a little bit.
Yeah. I remember the
guy was hurt for a little bit. Two tight ends over at the Rams. They've got Parkinson and Higbee. He's, I believe, hurt for a while. Parkinson, he came in and did a decent job with having to be the backup on that. So, I still got to give it. He being hurt, 500 yards, 2 touchdowns. Give that to Eagles. Wide receiver is an interesting matchup here. We've got Hollywood Brown and Devontae Smith for the Eagles. Nasty combination.
Yeah.
Can't find one of them two. I don't know who you're trying to. Other side of it, you've got Nakua and Cup. I think
Nakua's just going to get a lot of targets. If the regular season indicates anything, Cup's not going to do much.
He's taken all of it away from Cup.
Yeah, pretty much.
Cup was barely targeted in the last part of the season. A little shout out there. If you do the daily fantasy, or if you are in some kind of money setting situation where you are looking for advice or anything, or you have friends that do, hear this. Maybe we can give them some advice that they didn't know about to help them with their picks. Jake Elliott, been solid for a long time.
Yeah.
Solid kicker, 77%. I didn't really hear about much from the Rams, but he was 85%.
I don't really know much about their kicker.
Also, it's probably because the Rams didn't find the end zone very much this season. That's I would take Elliott on that one as for Eagles. And D-wise, Eagles secondary is, sorry Dakota, but it's sketchy. The secondary is not good.
Yeah.
Offensive line, very, very solid. And if they can get pressure, then they are going to have a very easy game, I think, defensively. The Rams, on the other hand, get run on like crazy.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's going to be a very good day for them. But
yeah, I'm thinking the Eagles-Rams game is going to be a close game.
Right. I think that defensive-wise, if the Eagles can get in front of them, I think that they're going to have a hard time with the Rams offense. To put it out there for the games is going to be
Texans-Chiefs on Saturday at 4:30. Commanders-Lions Saturday at 8 p.m. Rams-Eagles Sunday at 3 p.m. and Ravens-Bills Sunday at 6:30 p.m.
So feel free to, while you're watching this video, while the games are going on, after games are over, feel free to come back and comment and give opinions on what we've said here. They're very welcome. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button for me before you're done watching the video. I think at this point, we will see if we agree or not, because we are going to be making our pick
and doing our
forwards and score predictions for this weekend. I'll do the same. I want to be able to see if fans out there, with this coming from a fan, how comparable these predictions are. That would be great to see.
Definitely.
First up, we
So in order of when the games are being played. So Texans Chiefs. Don, what's the score?
I think it's going to be closer than what the paper says. I'm going to go Chiefs. These fans, but I'm going to have a couple of fair calls for the Chiefs. Little ref help. I'm going to go 27-17 Chiefs.
Yeah, as much as I hate to say it, because I don't like the Chiefs, but I'm calling for the Chiefs to win that game. I feel like the Texans are going to put up at least some of a fight. I think I'm going 27-20. Yeah, 20 Chiefs.
All right. So next up, we have Commanders and Lions.
I'm actually calling for the Lions to win. I think the Commanders have done great this season, but I just don't know. The Lions look amazing, and I think it's going to be a closer game than the Chiefs-Texans game. I'm going to go with probably like 17.
Okay. I think the Commanders are right on of winning that division and making a deep playoff run. He's a rookie.
Okay.
Still got some learning to do. Still makes mistakes, but it is going into a second year.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, I gotta take the Lions. Think their defense is just too strong.
Yeah.
Actually going to go 34-13.
Oh, wow. You think that's going to be a blowout? All right. Next, we got Rams versus Eagles.
All right. So just the factors I said earlier, if you put in Hollywood, Saquon, the Deets, taking the fact that they're in our division and I don't like them anyway, I'm going to run all over them. I'm looking at a 42-24 game.
Yeah, I'm going for the Eagles as well. I don't know if I feel like it's going to be that big of a difference. Like 35-21.
I like that call too.
So I round that score, I think. Is
all right. Now, the game of the weekend.
Ravens-Bills.
It's on you first this time.
Oh, okay. Teams have played awesome, and it's a really tough call in this game, but I'm going to call for the Ravens to beat the Bills. Just think, again, Josh Allen has made some mistakes this season. Not that Lamar Jackson hasn't made any, but I think, and we all know what Bills stand for. Right. So I'm going to call Ravens, and I think that's going to be a very close game. I'm going to actually call 27-24 Ravens, like a field goal.
Okay. Go a little different route. I think it's in Buffalo, so it's going to be cold.
But it's cold in Baltimore too, so this is true. They're used to playing in the cold.
I think it's going to be that close, but I don't think it's going to be that high.
You don't think so?
Actually going to call a 17-14 game.
Oh, wow. So you think it's going to be a massively defensive game?
Yes. I think the defenses are both going to show out in that game.
I mean, for a good game.
It will. So that is our recap of last weekend and our upcoming weekend predictions and comparisons. And hope you enjoyed the first episode of Final Whistle. And we hope that you subscribe and comment and share with your friends. Thank you very much.